The program is a skills-based upgrading opportunity that seeks to upgrade or develop new skills within the local labor force of the 6 counties that we serve, including Six Nations, New Credit, Haldimand, Norfolk, and Brant counties and the city of Brantford. The program is aimed at providing local businesses an opportunity to connect with a reliable, trained, and experienced workforce that will allow them to develop, grow, and be their best. In today's webinar, we're going to hear from local manufacturing, warehousing, and logistics employers who have made it their mission to offer training opportunities to their hardworking employees looking to advance their careers and enter the world of skilled trades. To all our attendees, I urge you to think and take advantage of this great opportunity to connect, observe, and think broadly about the opportunities available in our local communities in an effort to achieve sustainable and rewarding employment. We ask that those in attendance kindly ask their questions through the Q&A option on their screens and to kindly be patient as the moderators forward their questions to the presenting panelists. We will make every effort to answer all of your questions, but should you need further clarification, pay close attention to contact information which will be presented on screen for our various panelists. We hope you enjoyed today's session and that you leave with a greater understanding of the success and opportunity there is right here in our local Grand Erie area. To begin, I would like to invite you all to observe the following videos which highlight available opportunities right here in Grand Erie. This could be any of us.
Hi everyone, it's PJ here from Skills to Advance, and I'm here to talk to John Edelman of Haldimand Motors and his crew about what it takes to become a skilled tradesperson.
Accepting that your son or daughter has an aptitude for hands-on type of work versus academic style path to university and that, parents need to learn to accept that.
Well, through high school, I always liked working in the shop classes. And when I got out, I went into a few different trades and finally ended up sticking with automotive. You really have to know almost everything. You have to know electrical, you have to know plumbing to a degree. It's a really complex thing, and I don't think a lot of people understand that.
I see the industry changing leaps and bounds. We don't work on brakes and tires anymore. We work on rolling computers. There's a lot of new things that come through the shop that you would never thought you'd ever see, right? And we're in an age right now where products are changing so quickly that we need to make sure that we're up on top of what we're doing as far as education.
I think some of my favorite things are the new up and coming technologies, like when it comes to electrical cars and getting to learn motor systems and hybrids and all that kind of interface stuff.
It's just a new adventure, and it's not quite the environment it used to be.
You know, I mean, we've had some very unique stories where we've had kids from the high school that were didn't have an attention span of longer than a few seconds, and they sent them here, and we've been able to work with them and ended up being long-term mechanics with us and things like that. We saw great success stories like that.
Hey everyone, my name is PJ. I'm with the Skills to Advance program, and I'm here at Dunphy Mechanical to talk to Aaron Dunphy and his crew about what it takes to be in the trades.
We have millwrights, electricians, welders, machinists, and mechanical designers. So this all comes together to make us a one-stop industrial solution shop. So we can do everything from the platform to the electrical lights, industrial automation. If you call us, we can fix, repair, design, build, and install anything. I became a tradesman by accident. I'm actually an ex-con, and after last time I got out of prison, I decided I wanted to be a tradesman. So I went back to school, got a GED. A man offered me an opportunity to be an industrial mechanic millwright apprentice. I didn't go through an OYAP program. We do employ OYAP students here, so I was lucky. I took that opportunity and stuck with it.
Yeah, I had no training, absolutely no knowledge of, I didn't even know what a millwright was. And I did a co-op, and that goes back 8 years now.
There's no better life, in my opinion, than being a tradesperson. It gives you so much skill and opportunity, not just learning for yourself, getting skills that you can take home and use in the shop, but also making connections with other tradesmen that can help benefit you in your life.
I like to be goal-oriented, so yes, I got first year, now I got a second year, now I got third year, now I can write, now I can be a foreman, then a supervisor, then a manager, then own my own company. There's so much more steps to be a skilled trades guy.
For anyone who's interested in trying to come into the trades, it just takes hard work and dedication. If you want anything, you will succeed at it. If you don't really want it, you'll never go anywhere. Being a tradesman is a wonderful thing, but if you don't put the work in, you'll get nothing out from it.
You know, we all don't want to get up in the morning, but show up every day and just put your time in. It'll come. It'll come.
Hey everyone, it's PJ here with Skills to Advance, and today we're talking to Lauren from Grand River Enterprises, and we're going to find out what it takes to come work for their crew.
Some of the skilled trades that we have would be millwrights, we have electricians, and all of these technicians, they're trained specifically on the machines that we have at the factory. So we will bring in people from other countries to come and train our technicians on these machines. The machines are very specific. There are very few in Canada at all. What the company likes to do is to support our community. You know, we stand by our employees, right? And we want to see them succeed. So we do post a lot of positions internally before we post externally. A couple of our guys, our technicians, they went to school for millwright, and then they came back and did their apprenticeship with us. And that's what we want, because we want them to stay. It has a lot to do with the employees' skills and willingness, and just letting us know too that that's what you're interested in. You know, taking the initiative to learn about the machine, that stands out as well, by attending your shifts, all of your shifts on time. You know, showing that interest, that willingness to learn and to grow. One thing that I really like about Grand River Enterprises, like I said, is how supportive they are in your career path. During the pandemic, what really stood out for me was the fact that they took the time to retool so that they could manufacture the face shields and hand sanitizer. And that was something that they distributed to the community businesses. My name is Lauren Hill, and I work in the Payroll and Personnel Administration Office at a manufacturing company called Grand River Enterprises.
Hi there, it's PJ, and we're here with Skills to Advance, talking to Nadia from Rasan Services and her team, and we're going to learn about what it takes to work in skilled trades today.
Rasan Services is a custom fabrication, mechanical, electrical contracting business. I like to say that we are involved in industrial construction.
In high school, I leaned very heavily towards the trades part of it, so I did a lot of shop classes, machine shop, auto shop, wood shop, all that kind of stuff. And then I got a job, entry level, I was painting equipment. That's all I did. And then as time progressed, they offered me an apprenticeship, and I started an apprenticeship with them. Took the move to Rasan 14 years ago, completed my apprenticeship with them, and I worked my way up the ladder, and now I'm one of the senior foremen in the company.
To get into it, I didn't really need much. I just had my abilities, and when I got into the course, they offered me the apprenticeship at my previous job. I've always been mechanically inclined, or I like to think so anyway. My father was a machinist. He did millwright work a little bit, so we need guys, absolutely. And there's absolutely no reason why it's not a job to be proud of. Guys are proud to do what they do, and it's good pay. There's always work. There's no reason why people shouldn't be treated to it. And honestly, there's nothing to be nervous about in that aspect. Take everything slow, learn one thing at a time, and do it safely, and you're in for a successful career. So.
We get a pretty good read on somebody within their first 3 to 6 months. You don't necessarily have to come with welding tickets or your apprenticeship already started. You just have to kind of understand what the fundamentals are to start that process.
Hey everybody, it's PJ from Skills to Advance, and I'm here at Stubby's Precast in Brant County talking to their crew about what it takes to work in skilled trades.
Stubby's Precast was founded in 1982 by Herb Stubby. Started as a one-man business making precast hog feeders. From there, we've grown into several areas. We do cement powder, we do ready mix, and precast wall panels for mid to high rise buildings. Currently, we're looking for 310T mechanics. We have a large fleet of ready-mix trucks, cement trucks, so we maintain all our own vehicles here. We also have crane operators that go in and do the install of our buildings, and if they don't have those tickets, we're willing to help someone get them.
So I'm a mobile crane operator. I take my crane to a site, wherever I was directed to the day before, set it all up, make sure it's set up well in a good spot that is suitable for what we have to lift that day. And then when the trailer shows up with a product I need to lift it up, put it in place. So I started off as Stubby's just general labor, and then over the years worked myself up to being a lead hand and then a site super, and then from that, Stubby sent me through an apprenticeship program for a tower crane operator. After a tower crane, then I became a mobile operator.
We hire a lot of co-op students through high school and college, and we're hoping that with the college co-op kids that maybe one day they'll come and be one of our architectural engineers.
Well, it is a backbone of our society, for sure. Like, it is what builds most things we live in. A lot of things we do are all from skilled trades. To get an education in university, you got to pay for an education. Whereas if you're getting an education in skilled trades, often you're getting paid to get an education. Like, I'm being paid to do my apprenticeship to become a crane operator, which is quite a bit more beneficial than spending 3 or 4 years paying to get an education, in my eyes, anyways.
My title here is general laborer. I work in the vinyl department, working through quality inspection. I found out about Latham Pool products through driving along my neighborhood and just finding the sign saying that they're hiring. So I decided to come over and apply because I found that it would be beneficial for me to actually put myself into the trade, kind of learn more and gain more experiences in the workforce. What excites me about this job is that the fact that every time I make the liner, I know that it's going to come to someone's house and they're going to be very happy with the product. And it's going to be lasting there for many, many years to come, and I'll have the satisfaction of knowing that I made it. It's a great feeling. The company provides training. They get the supervisors and as many skilled people as possible to help with the training of the new recruits and to pass on what they know so far, from safety through effective use of machinery. What I would tell a lot of people out there looking for jobs, especially young people like me, is that it's not impossible for us to find a job and to really go for something that we can excel on. I see a lot of people going through the universities unsure of what they're going through. And what I'd suggest for them is give the trades a try. There's so many opportunities over here that a lot of people are missing, and it's a real great place to use your hands-on skills and to earn a stable income.
A big thank you to all those involved in the making of these videos. I certainly hope they've been able to inspire our attendees into entering the trades. Now we'd like to continue with the panel webinar, and I would like to introduce some of the panelists, all the panelists that are going to be with us today. And I'm starting in no particular order, just reading off my bill here. Our first panelist is Jake Colomia. He represents Rasan Services. He will be here to speak to us more about their opportunities, along with Christine Flint, who's here representing Stubby's Precast. We are also lucky to have John Edelman of Haldeman Motors in attendance with us today. Allison Baker from ApprenticeSearch.com is also here. Janice Sawyers from Latham Pool has kindly also joined us here. And of course, last but not least, Mike Clemens from Dunphy Mechanical is here on the panel as well. We are, of course, open to any questions. So if any attendees are out there, please use the Q&A box to ask our panel anything you would like. To sort of open things up, I do have a question for everyone. I think everybody is sort of already wondering this, but can the panelists talk a little bit about the entry-level positions currently available in their respective companies? And Jake Colomia, if you'd like, you can start us off. Jacob, sorry.
How's it going, everybody? So we've been in business for 50 years, and I think everybody in the panel is probably in the same position we are, where we're always struggling to find good people, long-term people. And currently we have a fabrication sector of our company where we're on site here at our facility in 22 Boswell and Simcoe. So we have apprentices for metal fabricator and industrial welders. So that's where our custom fabrication facility comes into play. We're also sometimes looking for sheet metal workers as well. A large brunt of our company, it did start out as a custom fabrication, but a large portion of our company now is the field portion of our company, where we service pretty much within an hour-and-a-half radius of anywhere from our Simcoe plant in southern Ontario. We have millwrights, steam fitters, metal fabricators, electricians, programmers. All of those positions we're currently accepting for apprenticeship or accepting resumes for people that are looking for apprenticeships, and even varying levels or even journeymen of that. But we definitely, as a family-owned business, there's approximately 120 employees of the trades in our company, and we're really active. And I think, as I said, everyone can probably attest this, how hard it is to find people. So we realized that, you know, you're not going to find the experienced people that you need. We're going to have to train from the beginning and kind of grow. So, yeah, it's pretty much, you know, we have a very, you know, strong program of mentors here. And, you know, we're really open to anybody. Sorry, I'm getting the chat at the same time.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Christine Flint, if you would like to share your thoughts on the question that was posed. You are muted.
Is that better? Can you hear me now? Yeah? Okay. Hi, everybody. Okay, so we are, just to share our location, we are actually out in the Norwich, Harley area, so in the middle of the country. We've got about 185 acres out here, but we are not on a bus route. So we have a lot of trouble getting some people as well. We are currently looking for general laborers. We've got postings out internally and externally for heavy duty truck and coach technicians that we're looking for apprenticeships. We're also looking for licensed, but we understand that, you know, if somebody's got what it takes and they're willing to put in the work, we'll help them with the apprenticeships. We are also a family-owned business. A couple years ago, we were at about 300 employees. We're up over 500. We are rapidly expanding, and so we need some help. So feel free to send your resumes over. We're willing to take a look at anyone who comes over that can get here. Yeah.
Awesome. And if I can also ask all the panelists, you're also welcome to let our attendees know how they may be able to get a hold of you, or send in your resumes as well if you want. And you can name that in other questions as well. Or Christine, I can give you the chance here as well if you like.
Okay, sure. So resumes can be sent over to careers@stubbies.org.
Awesome. We'd also like to call on John Edelman. If you can share a little bit about the positions that are currently available in the Haldeman Motors.
Good afternoon, everybody. So we're a car dealership in Cayuga, and we are presently looking for car detailing positions. We realize that's not the most glamorous job in the world, and so we have a few different opportunities. If there are students that are still working presently, We're doing a 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock shift to try to accommodate student employment and a Saturday shift. And then we're also dealing with giving opportunity to housewives where they want to be home for their kids when their kids come home from school. So we're doing a 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock shift to accommodate the timing from a daycare perspective, to accommodate that way. Just trying to make it flexible for people. Again, we're like everybody else. It's very difficult to get get employees, and so we're trying to accommodate with timing wise. You can contact one of the other jobs that we had was inputting for incoming cars, and that job's already been filled, so it's more just the car detailing. We are open-minded to apprenticeships with the automotive mechanics trade. If you have a mechanical aptitude that you feel would be good, then we're open-minded to that. You can send a resume also. So you could send it to, where would you send it to? jp62 at haldemanmotors.ca. jp62 at haldemanmotors.ca is a okay spot. There's also on the site, there's other spots where you can send it to too.
Thank you very much. We'd like to call on Allison Baker from ApprenticeSearch.com. I'm sure she can talk a little bit more about current opportunities that may be available in the area.
Hi, good morning, or good afternoon. I keep saying good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Allison Baker, and I'm with ApprenticeSearch.com. I don't know if you've heard of us, but if you haven't, you're gonna now. We are born under the Hayek umbrella. So Hayek is the Halton Industry Education Council. We were born about 20 years ago, ApprenticeSearch.com. When we were first started, we were fully funded and up and running. And so within the 20 years, unfortunately, we have lost our funding, but we are still going. We are still running, we're still trucking along. So we have almost 20,000 applicants that register. Right now we average about 80 to 100 applicants that register on the site a week. These are all individuals that are seeking skilled trades positions, whether it's general labor, starting apprenticeships, and same with employers. We have employers from all over Ontario who are looking for apprentices just like yourselves. Looking for general laborers, looking for, first, second, third. Jacob, I really liked how you said, we're really starting to recognize that we have to start, the training process. Finding those third, fourth years are very difficult, and I'm sure you can all agree. I loved how you said that we're kind of looking at those OYEP students and the 0 years and first years who are just looking for an opportunity. And that's what ApprenticeSearch.com does. So we try to, I try to help as much as I can with your search. Again, we're a free website. We have postings all over Ontario on opportunities. So I encourage anyone, employers and applicants, to register on the site, post for your positions, apply. As an applicant, you would register yourself, and once you have completed your profile and uploaded your trades related resume, you go through an approval process. Same with employers, they go through approval processes as well. So anybody that's on the site is legit, I guess you could say. And it's great. There's no opportunity for stealing or poaching other people's. It's very private, which is part of the reason that I really love ApprenticeSearch.com. We also provide a lot of great resources, and I try to make myself available to employers and applicants that have any questions in continuing or starting this apprenticeship journey. I love the skilled trades, and that's all I got for you right now. That was a lot.
Thank you, Allison. We really appreciate it.
No problem.
Janice Sawyers from Latham Pools. Are you able to talk a little bit about some current opportunities available at Latham Pools?
All right, so I wanted to make sure I unmuted myself. So yeah, actually, hopefully you guys can hear me now. But our company actually has been in business for more than 65 years. This location's been around since the 80s. Some of the tenured people that I have here are 15 plus, so it's a very long-lived career for a lot of individuals. What's different this year is what everybody else is facing. Of course, COVID caused several issues, but we've actually, I hate to say this, but kind of benefited from the fact that you can't travel anymore. And now people are really, really trying to figure out, what are we going to do with my kids in the summertime? You know, maybe now's the time to build that backyard oasis so that we can actually enjoy it while we are stuck in our little private circles. So our company actually is growing by leaps and bounds. Our current location in Brantford, although we have other locations across Ontario and actually in Quebec, we're going to be basically doubling our workforce, our general labor or production team associate workforce. The kind of skills that we're looking for are people who have worked on presses, for sheet metal presses, industrial sewers for our covers division, as well as just individuals who are, I won't say necessarily mechanically have a mechanical aptitude, but can create a bond with a machine. Most of our machines are proprietary. You're not going to find the same equipment in any other manufacturer, potentially in another pool manufacturer, but we like to believe that we're the largest and the best. We actually are throughout North America and now Australia and New Zealand, as we've acquired another company called Latham Pools in 2019. So we are truly a global company. We have, as I said, we're doubling our production staff by probably another 70 to 100 employees. And like everybody here, we're finding the same struggle. Although we're perfectly able to bring everybody in and obviously train them, because it is proprietary equipment, you wouldn't necessarily use it. It's finding those individuals who are willing to come to work, do a good day's work, and obviously, you know, have that commitment to building something that will make families happier. So as I mentioned before, we are, and from a skills or skilled trades point of view, we are absolutely looking for a skilled millwrights that have PLC experience. So not just mechanical, but have that PLC experience as well. And industrial sewers, quality inspectors, and application process is pretty straightforward. If you go and visit our booth right now and click on our booth, it'll take you right to our careers webpage. All of our postings are through right now through Indeed, or you can email directly to hrcanada@lathampool.ca.
Thank you very much, Janice. We certainly appreciate it. We'd like to invite Mike Clements to talk a little bit about Dunphy Mechanical and their current opportunities available.
Thank you very much. My name's Mike Clements. We work out of the Brantford area. I keep getting confused between Brampton and Brantford, but we're a multi-trade group. We currently have a staff of 14. Being multi-trade, we have electricians, we have welders, we have millwrights, and of course we have apprenticed co-op students. Currently, we are looking to expand and possibly hire another millwright. So that's definitely an opportunity. One of the biggest thing for anybody listening and looking to get into the trade, really number one is attitude. Anybody can have the skills after going through the schooling, but it's the attitude that's going to take you farther. Watching the video earlier with everybody else, when Aaron was speaking, ironically, the person that gave him the opportunity was myself. Aaron is a great guy. His skills he kind of brought and had with him. He came to me kind of before apprentice, and I'd like to think that I got him along the way, but after that he grew himself. So that was very exciting, and very exciting to work for him now.
Thank you very much, Mike, and thank you to the panel for going through the first round. I'm not seeing too many questions coming up in the Q&A, so I would like to possibly ask another one, if I may. This one goes out to everyone. How how has sort of COVID-19 affected your respective companies, and has that enacted any changes in terms of wages or benefits? I think a lot of people on the panel would like to know a little bit more about, you know, how these opportunities translated to into long-term opportunities from the start point. I hope I'm asking this question right. I would like to bring Jacob Colomia again to start us off, and let me know if I need to clarify anything as well.
Well, I think like for us, we're very heavily like involved, like it's because it's Southern Ontario, it's the manufacturing hallway and pretty much of all of Canada. So I think it did definitely, you know, when March hit, it did struggle because versus some other smaller companies, we require such a large volume of work for the amount of employees that we had. A lot of our people that hire us, you know, ones that were very consistent customers as far as I think everybody kind of scaled back, and I think with everybody, just there was a little bit of mystery of what was going to happen next in the economy and everything else. But generally, you know, I think the advantage of, you know, working for a family-owned company is that, you know, you're just not necessarily a number, and they really want to fight to keep you. And so employee-wise, you know, there was some times that we had slower weeks and stuff like that, but everybody stayed in contact. Well, people understood, you know, that things were happening in the markets, and now we're back to full speed. A lot of our customers are starting to build things and manufacture things again. I wish it was as good as the pool business, but you know, some of our customers and, you know, ones that, you know, would normally be a little bit more active are less active, and ones that were a little bit less active seem to be more active. So, you know, was it a good thing? Probably no, it wasn't in the very beginning, but we're definitely seeing a positive swing. We've had some new customers come, and we've been actively hiring people throughout this stage in this process. It didn't stop us. Like Janice mentioned, you know, there was a positive that kind of came out of it. There was a little bit, you know, more people were, you know, searching for other employment. You know, maybe they were concerned. So we were consistently accepting resumes, consistently doing interviews throughout this process. And, you know, we did pick some people up. You know, unfortunately, people are, you know, going from one company to another, but, you know, it's, you know, we've always had an open door policy. We're always looking for talent. So, you know, but, you know, overall, it's, you know, the outlook for our company is that we're, you know, back to full speed again.
Thank you very much, Jacob. That's so wonderful to hear. And I certainly wish you even more success as the months go on. We'd like to now call on to Christine Flint from Stubby's Precast. Can you talk a little bit about how your industry has been affected and the outcomes and the opportunities as well?
We were a little bit similar to what Jacob was saying. We've actively been hiring throughout this. We were lucky enough, most of our business is residential buildings. So because residential was considered an essential service, we really didn't experience too much of a slowdown. I think there was one of our installation crews, maybe up to, you know, 10 guys that couldn't install some barn floors, but we're a family-owned company, so we take care of our own, and we got them some work in our plant just to kind of keep them going. But did no layoffs, we already had permits in place for our buildings to go up, so we were pretty lucky that way. We were still growing through all of this.
Thank you very much, Christine. John Edelman from Haldeman Motors.
Yeah, well, obviously in April when things shut down, we were affected big time. Our service shop was considered essential, so we still had the service business going, which was nice to have at least something going. But we have 100 service bays in total, so when you shut down sales side of it, basically. It was quite significant. We did learn how to sell vehicles online, so we were doing 2 to 3 a day online, which, I mean, we normally sell 15 a day, so that's it was significant down, but we managed through it. But when we came out, May till the end of September thus far, we have had a record 5 months. I don't know whether there's extra cash in people's pockets because they're not traveling or so. I got a little bit of the cash from the pool people, I guess. We have been ridiculously busy. The biggest thing probably for us right now is because of this, we've decided to expand, and we're going to put another 200 or 300 cars into inventory. But our biggest fear right now is to get the skilled trades, to get the licensed mechanics. There's a real shortage in the automotive trade right now. We're losing them to different trades, not necessarily losing them to competitors, but losing them to different trades. So we've had to adapt in our pay structure for the automotive trade, and it worked. We were able to get some more people in the shops. And you know what? It seems to be pretty bright as far as the trade right now. The only thing, again, because there was the factories were closed down, the new cars, there's a shortage of supply of new cars, and therefore that trickles down to the used car industry. And so, I mean, we are not experiencing it right now, but there's a lot of talk that over the next 6 months, there's going to be a real shortage of inventory. Again, we're managing, because of our relationships throughout the countryside, we're managing to get enough inventory. So I would say that COVID, I mean, year to date, we're above last year, even though we basically shut down for a month, and we're significantly above last year. So there's a change in the way people are thinking, which we've had to adapt our business to change to that, adapt to the consumers' different thought process. But it's been good overall, to be honest with you. And I can't really complain about business.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for bringing some light to that. Allison Baker, I don't know if you want to take some time and talk a little bit about the same question. I know that you're particularly focused on apprenticeships and things like that. So maybe from the point of view of how apprenticeships have been affected in this.
Absolutely. I would say, like what I've heard so far is what I've seen with ApprenticeSearch.com. The employers, I would say, if anything, especially over the summer, we've been busier than ever with employers seeking people. I would say the harder part is finding people, and I'm sure that everyone can agree with that. In whatever business, my husband and I used to own a franchise restaurant. We owned an Eastside Mario's for 14 years. We sold it a year ago. Thank the Lord, if you believe in him, because that's a business that's really hurting right now. But we found the exact same thing, that finding the right people and finding those people, like you mentioned, Mike, with the good attitudes and just the willingness to learn. But as far as ApprenticeSearch.com goes, yeah, I would say, especially in the GTA, a big influx of employers seeking help. Some are equating it to they've lost employees because of the subsidy that is being provided. They might not have to work. Some are a bit nervous as far as COVID goes. And then others, we've just had, there's been a more demand for certain companies. We've had a few companies in Burlington who are supplying and building hospital beds and parts for the ventilators as far as COVID-19 goes. And they're desperate for entry-level opportunities for people. So I would say COVID has not really affected the trades that are posted within ApprenticeSearch.com and the employers that we have for all over Ontario. The only difference I see is, I think Jacob mentioned it, is, the applicants that might be applying or registering are ones that maybe were laid off from a different industry or a different job and are now looking to get into something different. And they just need some advice on how to go about that. I think I'm sure everyone can relate that not everyone is prepared to get into it. They've heard it's a great thing, and so they're going to do it tomorrow. So we just try to give them as much information as we possibly can to make them successful.
Thank you very much, Allison.
You're very welcome.
Truly inspiring. Janice, if you would like to weigh in as well.
Well, I obviously jumped the gun a little bit when I would give my intro spiel, but I don't want everybody to believe that our organization has been all just rainbows and puppy dogs. It really hasn't. We struggled in the beginning as well, especially when the government shut down all of the construction. You can build all the pools we want. If there's not a hole dug, we can't put them in. So we did have a bit of a slowdown during March. Actually, I remember March 11th is when they basically made the decision to send everybody that could work from home, all of our designers and customer service and sales and so forth, to work from home to help protect the production employees, obviously, by not having an excessive number of people in the building and not having that extra interaction. March 11th was that date. And we went through about 4 to 5 weeks where, like every other business, we really wondered whether or not, from a financial standpoint, whether or not we would even meet what we had expected our targets to be. Then construction opened up, and as I mentioned before, I love the idea that, unfortunately, due to COVID, but people are getting back to the grassroots of, let's have that staycation. Let's keep the kids entertained. Let's have that. Let's invest in our homes and our backyards and not in necessarily travel to far off places where you don't really bring anything back except potentially sand in your shoes. You can get that in your backyard instead. But we did struggle for a period of time, but we have come out on top, and I'm very, very thankful for that. So, and as Allison said, that if you believe in the one above, I definitely do, because we could have been very much completely opposite. People could have chosen to just hang on to their cash, not bought cars, not bought, gone out and done anything. And for us, it hasn't been that case. And that is, for me, I think a fantastic thing for Brantford, because this is another 100 positions that wouldn't necessarily have existed if that hadn't happened. And I wrote down what John said. The comment he made was ridiculously busy. And that is exactly what we're at. We're ridiculously busy. We have pool orders all the way out to 2022. So this is not going to slow down for us for a couple of years. It's unfortunate that COVID is what caused this to occur, but our employees are protected. We've not had a single case in our production floor, and we have very strict guidelines about safety concerns and making sure that people stay healthy during this time. But thankfully, we are coming out on the positive side.
That's so awesome, and I certainly hope it continues to grow, as I know there's a very a growing number of people that are looking for work. So I certainly wish that everybody gets that kind of success. Mike Clements, we've come to you, sir. If you would like to talk a little bit more about the effects on your particular industry.
Yes, pretty well. We've had a very similar story to everybody else. I mean, everybody gets affected in one way or another. I think overall we've done very well. We've been very lucky to have existing customers that are still working away and supplying work for us to support them. So one of the struggles we're still struggling with is trying to obtain new customers. Trying to go around for cold calls is a little bit of an issue when nobody's there to take the call or to answer the door. But other than that, we're busy. We're doing very well.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that quick answer. And I'll just open up the panel here for some Q&A questions. Are there any currently available? Is there any coming through?
Yes, there is one question from the audience. Do you have advice for those switching careers and wanting to go into the trades?
Excellent. I'll just repeat that question just in case those didn't hear it. Do you have advice for anyone looking to switch from their current career into the skilled trades, was the question. And we'll open up in the same way that we did. Jake Colomia, if you would like to offer your answer.
I think I typed something in the text box about that, but I think the biggest thing is like I get a lot of times people want to be, well, my background is electrical. A lot of people say, oh, I just want to be an electrician. And then we go through the whole process and, you know, they realize they don't like it. And I think it's a lot just like anything nowadays where people are coming out of high school, students, and, you know, whether they know what university degree they want to get or college diploma or trade they want to get in, is take just a few minutes and research out a few different things and just look at it, because we get tons of people, I want to be a millwright or I want to weld, and, you know, but it's also, on the other hand, it's not a bad thing if you try something and it doesn't work out as well. But, you know, do your research, take a look online, or even, you know, ask, you know, various companies, you know, if you can, you know, maybe take a look for an hour to see what that trade actually does. I think a lot of youth don't really get the opportunity to see or, you know, firsthand, you know, kind of what some of the various trades had to offer. Like, I originally started when I was 18, wanted to be a millwright, and I did it for a week and hated it. So then I switched to electrical right away, and, you know, I've been doing it ever since. So, you know, it's do a little bit of reading first, you know, ask some questions to different people, like on this panel is a prime example. And, you know, I've been writing some feedback through the chat group, and just, you know, do that first and then see who can give you a little bit of an opportunity to try a couple different things. But that's it.
Thank you very much. What about Christine Flint? Perhaps you can add a little bit more to that as well.
Well, not too much. I agree with Jacob. You got to do your research, and I think talk to people, call people, give us a call. We're happy to introduce someone to someone, you know, one of maybe our tower crane operators, something like that. They can kind of tell the younger folk what it's about, what's entailed. Yeah, that's research and talk to people. And like you said too, if you don't know, maybe you take a general labor job in a company that has lots of opportunity, and you kind of just pay attention to what's there and the internal postings, and who knows, like you'll figure it out from there.
Awesome, thank you very much. John Edelman from Haldeman Motors, perhaps you can add a little bit more advice to what the rest of the panelists have said.
I think one of the best things I've heard, even just hearing from the different people here, is attitude is a big factor. I mean, you can get, we can train people, but work ethic and attitude is a real valuable commodity today. And if they come to the workplace with an attitude to work and an attitude to learn, I think the world's their spot. Like they can take advantage of everything at that point in time, but they just got to come to the workplace with an attitude to work and learn. And I think that's where we're looking for, that kind of person all the time. And I think anybody I speak to that's trying to look for employees, it's the same thing I'm hearing over and over again. And mechanical aptitude, I'll be honest with you, as far as their auto mechanics, it's healthy to have a mechanical aptitude, and I'm not sure how I tell that to a person. Do you have that? Because people think they have it, and sometimes they're just, that's not their set, their bent in life. But attitude probably still trumps that, and work ethic. So,
thank you very much. Allison Baker, I'm sure you'll be able to talk a little bit about this as well.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's taking my words before I get to say them. For a second career, absolutely. So one thing, and this is coming from someone that is in my second career, I always encourage people to do research. Research, talk to people, ask questions. You're not going to know anything until you ask. So, you know, I kind of try to encourage them discovering about their network. Know your network, right? Start talking to your neighbors. Just talk to, when you go to get your car serviced, or, talk to them, ask them questions. How did they get started? Looking at transferable skills. What kind of skills do you already have that are going to be beneficial to this new career? And also being realistic. This is something that I find myself saying a lot these days is you want to be patient. Right now in Ontario, the average age of an apprentice starting out is 27. That's 27 starting at 0 year. So, be patient, give yourself a chance. Try it on. Right? You're not going to buy those shoes until you try them on, unless you're me. But anyway, right? You try it on. Try that entry level position and see if you like it. If you're in a position to do some pre-app courses, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And also, we're very lucky to live where we live. There's a lot of great opportunities out there that are offered for second career folks to do a little exploration into the different kinds of trades. And one thing that I'm very big on is, I'm sure everyone hears this and it's not a shock. Everyone wants to be an electrician, at least everyone that registers on ApprenticeSearch.com. A lot of them want to be electricians, which is fantastic, but not feasible for everybody. But part of that is because they don't know what else is out there. So educate yourself. I'm a huge believer in that. Learn what's out there. What opportunities are available to you in your area? Are you going to have to travel for work? Are you going to need transportation, like Christine said, right? Where they're located it's difficult. There's no bus route. These are all things that we need to put into consideration when getting into the skilled trades, let alone any career choice.
Thank you very much, Allison. I just want to note that we have about 8 minutes left of this panel. I'm going to turn it now over quickly to Janice to lend her answer as well.
Well, my answer should be relatively short because, as Allison said, everybody else took all the words and put it in. But just to reinforce, I kind of jotted a few things down as people were speaking, and this applies right across any position anybody's going for, trades or general labor or anything. Work ethic, attitude, willingness to learn, putting the time in to get to a point where you get to be where you want to be in the future. Those are key. They're key attributes, and it's not an easy road for a lot of people. There's a lot of learning, but I can tell you from the point of view of our company, we grew our maintenance people. They've been with the company many years, and they learned on the job. Now, they may not have pursued a formal education outside, but they're an integral part of our business because they learned on the job. They had that ethic, they had that attitude, and they had that I want to learn. So that is key for anybody entering into any workforce or anything into a skilled trades. Have those 3 key points. Those are fantastic attributes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for such concise words. Mike Clements, we come to you, sir, in regards to the question for the panel.
Yes, for me, this is very simple, listening to everybody talk. I'll keep it really short. The main thing, and I'll say it again, is attitude. And if you got the right attitude, I say follow your heart. Only time you can fail is if you don't try. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And like I said, again, we have about 3 to 4 more minutes, about 8 minutes left in the panel. I'd like to open up the floor again to any additional questions. If any of the attendees have something they would like to ask, this is a great opportunity. You have a very large panel of some very, very powerful and strong growing businesses in the local area. So certainly they're available to you now, guys. And if you would love to ask anything, we're very open and waiting. Sophie, is there any additional questions that you might have gotten?
No, there is not.
No, there's not. Okay. We'll keep going then. I also want to remind everybody in attendance that there's going to be a short survey at the end of this webinar available. Please, if you have a few short minutes to answer it, we would love some feedback from you guys. Furthermore, onto that, I really would like to thank all of the panelists that have joined us, starting with Jake Colomia from Rossan Services, Christine Flint from Stubby's Precast, John Edelman from Haldeman Motors, Alison Baker from ApprenticeSearch.com, Janice Sawyer from Latham Pools, and Mike Clemens from Dumpy Mechanical. Thank you so much for coming out. And it's really been so wonderful to hear all of these stories that are coming out of not just Brantford, but all of the counties that have really joined us. I mean, we have a very large and expansive representation here today on the panel. So it's wonderful to hear that there is growth in the industry, and that, you know, COVID and Corona are not the way this ends. Really, it's just a regrowth and a rebrand that's coming. And I really urge everyone to go out there and explore their opportunities, because now there's going to be more than ever as the industry grows. So thank you very much. And just the last few minutes for any questions that may come up, and we'll kindly wait.
I do have one question. What specific training do you offer to entry-level employees? If you have not answered that question already, and you're for other comments.
One question there. So the question is, what specific training do you offer to entry-level employees? I'll open it up to anyone that'd like to answer. If Jacob, do you have anything quick to add?
Generally what we do is, like, there's some of the fundamentals, especially in the trades. You know, we usually try to ensure that you're ministry trained with wearing a harness, and we provide, like, our company does all internal training. So lift training, we'll make sure that you have hazard assessment training. We do a hazard assessment every day. So there's some very, like, specific ones that you know, if you're a candidate for employment with our company, that we usually put you through. And from there, it kind of really depends on, you know, what path of trade you're on. The types of training that we do electrically are very different from the steam fitters or the pipe, you know, fitters or whatever. So, but there is a core, which I think probably a lot of the other companies that are here as well, there'll be the core training that you'll do prior, and then from there you kind of go where, you know, what skill set, and, you know, guided that way.
Thank you very much. Would anyone else like to add? Maybe Christine?
Yeah, it's very dependent. We have many different departments within our company. A lot of our people start as general laborers, so basic, like, on-the-job training, shadowing that they get. For our guys that start on the install group, we do the same, like working at heights, a lot of internal training, like rigging, traffic control, that sort of thing. Once they start going in a trade, it's some, you know, shadowing school, but it's very specific to every department, and we always buddy our people up.
Wonderful. With the last few minutes here, Mr. John Edelman, perhaps you have something you'd like to add?
I guess teaching them, getting to know the people that they're working with. I find that if they know the people they're working with, they feel comfortable, and there's obviously safety and all that sort of stuff is trained when they first come in, but getting to know the people and that they have a comfort level with the people helps them learn better. The term shadowing is probably a great way that we're teaching. But if they are comfortable with their coworkers, then they can ask questions and not feel intimidated by asking questions and things like that. So,
awesome. Thank you very much. And our SAO program, Skills to Advance, as well, kind of addresses a lot of these other issues. I know I haven't gotten a chance to weigh in too much, but I wanted to just let everyone know that we also work very hard at training and developing this new workforce, and hopefully helping some of these people enter into the businesses that we have today. Last few words perhaps from Janice Sawyers, if you could.
Sure. Same thing here as anybody else. Most of our jobs are actually partner jobs, so they're always partnered with a longer serviced employee and learn generally the basic, we always say they learn how to use a tape measure and they their way up, sort of thing. So they always start out with like a junior quality inspection, so they understand what is a good product, and then they work themselves up to different machine operations depending on their aptitude. Same thing with the safety. Of course, we have a solid safety program as well. We want everybody to come in and go out with all the same body parts in the same working condition that they had before. Yeah, we do, as I said before, we homegrown some of our positions. That, you know, our lead hands came off the floor. They learned all the stuff on the floor first and worked their way up. So it's a partnership. We always do our training with a partnership.
Awesome. Thank you very much. This concludes our panel, and I'm sorry we couldn't get to Allison and Mike. I apologize. I'm sure you both had very riveting things to say to us, but certainly thank you very much, everyone, for participating, and we certainly hope you enjoy the rest of the virtual fair. Enjoy.
Thank you.